Okay, I have to do this really, really quick because I'm being in a long distance relationship has actively reduced me to having a hunger for cuddles, which causes nearly physical pain. One, what are the three things I would spend money on even when I'm broke? The answer to this question is a van, or a similarly large transportation vehicle, a suit, and proper computing equipment. Probably a laptop of some kind, because I know how to frack my way into most modems, and there's always a public library if I don't want to do any jail time. The reason for this is, one, a van is entirely capable to be lived in, and making sure that you have the ability to go around to job interviews and making sure that you're constantly learning things is quite important. The ability to consistently explore and adventure into new things is also very important. I know that a lot of people treat the internet like it's something to be viewed at for cat pictures and such, but there really is a very large, vast trove of information if you know how to look and you know what to sift through. A suit is a suit. A suit is I don't know how to explain it other than that. A suit can make and break a man. It can get him a job. It can impress women beyond all recognizance. A suit, hands down. What is your favorite song at the moment? Right now, probably Fear and Chaos by Dualcore. My phone just buzzed because I'm getting text messages from a person that I want to cuddle ferociously. If I could spend any time period in history, what would I choose and why? I would probably choose 1920s, the Roaring Twenties specifically, just simply because I enjoyed the style and such from then. But in retrospect, the misogyny and the sexism and the racism probably would have gotten to me. If I had to pick a generation to live in other than this one, I would probably pick the 70s because people are far more active in their political ideals and would actually attempt to pursue goals instead of just liking a Facebook page 1,000 times. If I had to pick one person to be stranded on a deserted island with, who would it be and why? Dr. Manhattan from the Watchmen series, because of multiple reasons, ranging from he can get me off the island to he's fairly omnipotent. So there's that. That's the simple one. Favorite kind of comfort food? Ramen. It can be improved exponentially with some very simple ingredients like green onions or a boiled egg. And really does not need to be a giant quantity of sodium. If you do care about it, then you can spend very little amounts of money and get fantastic results. Tell us three things I want in my dream house. A ball pit on a balcony, so that when it rains, I can swim in that. An obstacle course of significant size, so that I may test and run against my own results, and a giant room full of computers of varying ages and sizes, from something as simple as a very, very old personal computer from the 80s to perhaps an extremely powerful computer, maybe an Apache server or two with multiple ports for memory and such. I think that would be amazing. The obstacle course, I enjoy free running, although I don't do it because I'm fat and I have low self-esteem, and if anybody saw me, I'd kill myself. Not really, but you get my point. Favorite physical and personal characteristics. Favorite physical characteristics, easily my hair because it's fluffy all the time. Favorite personal characteristic, probably... I have a horrible self-esteem, so this is a hard question. I'm gonna have to say I liked the fact that I can reconsider ideas after I've made them. I can entertain an idea without accepting it, and a lot of people can't do that. Another favorite personal characteristic is I can be very, very romantic, and a lot of people don't really escalate past the whole I want to get laid thing. And that's really sad. I'm going to be completely honest. Women aren't really treated as normal human beings, much less equals. So, yeah. Least favorite characteristic, I am excruciatingly fat, but as you may see in later videos, I actually do have protein shakes and such, and I have been doing exercise. We bought a blender, it was great. Least favorite personal characteristic, I have this tendency to want to help people, and you may be asking yourself why that's a bad characteristic, and in my experience, helping people is not a bad thing, but knowing when you're being self-destructive when you're doing it is also important, when you could be doing far more intelligent things and applying yourself in far different ways that still help people. I've found myself quite attracted to people who are irrevocably and sometimes sufficiently broken. I believe my first romantic interest in this state ended up being this person who had, like, been flayed across the stomach and participated in satanic rituals all the time and were actively misogynistic and were women. They were a strong proponent against women's rights, and they were women. And it's really, like, I like really weird people, apparently. It's a question of whether or not that's self-destructive, but I'm going to move on because that's a topic for a later time. If I could have a conversation with anybody, who would it be and why? Oh, I skipped one. If I had to relive 1 year of my life, I'm going to relive my last day of freshman year, a week before the last day of my freshman year to a week before after my sophomore year. Yeah, I do that over again. There are a lot of things. I think there are a lot of people that I could have had really, really passionate relationships with if I had the balls to talk about things intelligently. I think that there are a lot of personal issues that I would know how to deal with that I spent a long time trying to deal with. And I think I have regrets at the age of 17, which is just sad. Yeah, so that absolutely live that year of my life over again. I still have time to change the things that I want to, but some of them are simply impractical or excruciatingly difficult. If I had a conversation with anybody and whoever I liked, say whatever you liked, knowing they couldn't remember it after, okay. They wouldn't remember it after. I would talk to myself after I had been doing things for 30 years to prevent the problems that I would face now. That seems like a really simple question. If you were elected President of the United States, what would be the first act of your presidency? Probably to establish a bully pulpit and try to really nail out issues intelligently and force, using various tactics, to kind of raise the degree of conversation, because it seems to me like only through patient and calm understanding can you assume things, and when you have a influence like the President of the United States, you can actually have some really, really brilliant conversations, and I don't think he really does that all that much. He does talk to people on the ground, but he hasn't walked into, like, hey, I'm the President of the United States, let's get some strong liberals, some strong conservatives, and a moderator, and we'll talk. We'll make a show. Plenty of news stations would love to do that. Some of them might actually have some intelligent discussions to make, and, it doesn't have to be restricted to just that. Maybe, you can get some web bloggers or some newspaper authors or something and get them into a room. Maybe you can televise that. When it comes to the role of being not necessarily a figurehead, though he does act as one. When it comes to being a very, very intelligent member of society, I think you should attempt to use your influence to improve the quality and intelligence of the people around you. Tell us what Hogwarts house you would be in and why. I have a Ravenclaw robe and a wand, and I may have been sorted, and yeah, I'm Ravenclaw. I know I don't look it, and maybe your experience with me is a bit different, but I have had over the years a lot of things to deal with, and I kind of am slowly starting to get an answer to those questions. Very, very slowly, but I am. So there you go. I have told myself that because I have been missing the last couple days, I'm going to release another 4 videos. I have bits and pieces of them. But I am going to have to overcome my crippling sense of mediocrity and fear of mediocrity and perhaps a motivational problem here and then. But I am reaching a point in my cycle as bipolar or seasonal affective or whatever the balls it's called, that may assist me in getting to normal parameters, functioning parameters, because I am starting to find things that I'm interested in again, and getting passionate about topics I want to learn about. So I'll see you guys next week. I do apologize for this being late, but I have a lot to deal with, and I find myself quite prone to dismissing my own problems as, well, you should just deal with this, and it ends up being really, really self-destructive. So, have an awesome day, and, yeah, have fun.